Hey everybody, Ryan here at etrailer. Today on our 2011 Cadillac Escalade, we're going to be checking out the Kuat NV 2.0 platform style bike rack. So first impressions of the rack on the back of the Escalade is I think it looks really good actually. Kuats are very well built and put together very nicely, and I feel like that's really important, especially on the back of a vehicle like the Cadillac. You don't want to have a super nice truck and some flimsy cheap bike rack hanging off the back of it. With that said, one of the really neat things about this one is you kind of customize it, if you will. So it's available in 3 different colors, so you can kind of pick which one you like the best or which one matches the Escalade. And it also comes in multiple different configurations. So today we're showing off the 2-bike version. It can hold 2 bikes, but with this being a big vehicle, carry around a lot of people. So if you got your whole family with you or whatever, there's also a 4-bike version, and you can always go in between too. There's actually add-ons that you can put. You can start with the 2 and put another single bike add-on and things like that. So you can really do a lot with them and really, design it, if you will, to work with your particular situation. I do want to address one of the big questions that we get asked all the time in regards to these platform style bike racks, is if you're still going to be able to get into the back of your SUV. And the answer is yes, and that holds true for not only the glass but the rear hatch as well. So it's actually pretty nice with our bike on here. If we just need to get into the glass, this still opens up. It's really close to the handlebar, but this is going to be kind of depending on how wide your handlebars are too. If you got really wide handlebars, you may or may not be able to open this up. So that's pretty convenient. You can still get in there, even with the bike up. And then of course, if we need to get into the hatch, all we're going to have to do is tilt this down. So you can pull that lever back, tilt this down, and open this up. And I was really interested to see if this would clear, because that's a really big hatch, but it indeed does. So it is close. Have a little bit of room to spare there. So keep in mind, if you put your bike on here and try this the first time, really pay attention if you need to stop it, because if your handlebars are really wide or have a different pedal configuration here, it's something that you're going to have to pay attention to. The way that the rack is actually going to hold your bike down is super simple, but it's really effective, and that's one of the things I like about it. The back tire here is just going to be held down by a strap, and then the front is going to be held down by this wheel hook. So you're not going to have any frame contact at all, which is perfect for those of you that have a carbon frame bike like this one. You're not going to do anything to compromise the frame of the bike, or if you just don't want any frame contact, even with an aluminum bike or something like that. So the way it works is really simple. We'll go ahead and pull our bike off so we can show you. You want to start at the back and take this strap off first. Pretty straightforward stuff there. And then you want to make sure you have a grip on your bike, because once we undo this wheel hook, this could tip over and hit your car. So have a grip on it. There's a button, push that. This will swing up. You can move it down out of the way, and then we can pull our bike off. One of the things I do like is where the rack sits. I'm about average height, and with this being about waist level, it makes it really easy to kind of get to everything and grab. You're not bent over, you're not reaching way up in the air. So something that I do like. So it's nice and easy to grab off and go riding. At the end of each wheel tray here where your bike sits, there's actually an integrated lock, which is pretty nice. So you could loop that around and it ends up clipping into itself kind of. And keep your bike secure if you're on a trip or something, swing into the gas station or get a bite to eat. You're not gonna have to worry about someone running off with your stuff. But that said, whenever you don't have any bikes on here, I do suggest kind of putting them straps back just so they're secure. Same thing with the wheel hook here. This tilts down. And something that we do need to think about is whenever we have the rack on the back of the Escalade, it is going to take up a little bit of space. So something to keep in your mind, you know, when you're pulling into your garage or something like that. To figure out exactly how much space it's going to add back here, we'll just measure from the license plate to the very edge of the rack. Looks like it's going to be right at about 38 inches. So if, you know, you pull into your garage and it's already pretty tight, chances are pretty good you won't be able to get it in like this. If you got a big garage, probably be in pretty good shape. But the good news is when you don't have bikes actually on the rack, it does fold up and you can store it. So the same lever here that we use to tilt it down, you can pull that in and tilt it up. And it actually makes it relatively compact for what it is. So this time I will measure from the plate again and get an idea here. So from there to the very edge, which is this knob, looks like it's going to be right at about 21 inches. So really does free up quite a bit of room. Whenever you're in the truck and in reverse, you got the backup camera. It does see it so close, it kind of starts to go crazy a little bit. If you can ignore that, that's perfectly fine. But even in reverse, you can still kind of see, you know, this doesn't block it completely by any means. So you can still kind of get an idea of what's going on. You're just gonna have to listen to the beep because it thinks, you know, you're about to back into something. But that's just kind of the nature of it. And that kind of holds true for just about every single car with a backup camera. If it didn't beep, it wouldn't be doing its job, right? So one of the cool things though, whenever you do have the rack like this, is it kind of gives you a little workstation. There's this arm here. And if you open that up, you can pull this up, lock it down, and then at the end, this spreads open. You can set your bike in here and lock it down. And it kind of gives you a good place to work on it. You know, if you got to change your tire or adjust your chain or anything like that, kind of gets it up off the ground at working level and is a nice touch. It does come with a locking hitch pin, which is really nice too. It, you know, it's gonna be secured. No one could come up and just steal your rack more or less. And if you move back here, there's a knob, and when you tighten this down, what it's going to do is eliminate any slop or play there in the connection point. And that's going to do a couple of things. Not only help kind of provide your bikes with a little more of a smooth ride, but this isn't going to be clanking around in your hitch. You know, Cadillac has a superior ride. It's the last thing you want to hear is something bouncing around back there. It can get annoying. So I'm not going to have to worry about that. Kind of give you an example, say for driving and hitting some bumps, you can see that this is, I'm actually shaking the whole entire truck. That's how secure this is. So there's no slop in there and you won't hear any noise. So at the end of the day, a really nice platform style bike rack. You know, like I said earlier, Kuat makes really good stuff. Should get a lot of use out of it and be really happy with it. And honestly, I think it looks pretty good on the back of the truck here. You know, this is one of those where if you didn't feel like taking the rack off and putting it on all the time, you could actually leave this back here and then not really take away from the looks of your Escalade. And that'll finish up our look of the Kuat NV 2.0 platform style bike rack on our 2011 Cadillac Escalade.
First, we'll take it onto our slalom course. This will show you the side-to-side action, such as making turns or evasive maneuvers. Now we're at the alternating speed bumps. This will show you how it looks driving on uneven pavement or potholes. Finally, we're at the solid speed bumps, which simulates going into your driveway or parking lots.